Welcome to another edition of Northern Heat. My name is Bob Lennon, president of ThermalWood Canada, host for the show. And today we have two special guests. We have Brian Kenny, who is a local yokel here that everybody knows. And our real special guest today is Gary Borden. And Gary, you're down here playing with Sash Jordan tonight at the Oktoberfest down in Bertrand. But tell us a little bit about yourself first, and then we'll figure out how we got this trio here together at this table.
Well, I grew up in a small town, Dryden, Ontario. Started playing drums at like 8 and found my way in Toronto and started playing with some classic rock bands and, Helix, Toronto, and did some session work on Gowan's upcoming album. And here I am with Sass.
Yeah.
And I have other projects, Blood of Van Gogh, and, I write and record.
So a mixture of stuff all the way in between. So we're pretty lucky to have you here on the show today. And even the fact that, and we'll get into why, again, what's going on. But Brian, tell us the story of how all this happened and how we got together with Gary in the first place.
I'm a big rock and roller, as you know, and I go to a lot of concerts when I have the chance to go there. And one concert was at the Shediac Lobster Festival and with the band Helix and other bands. And I happened to meet Gary and the guys in the band. I've been friends with Brian Vollmer, the lead singer for Helix, for a number of years. And I was lucky enough to be able to meet Gary that night that he was playing. And that's probably 7-8 years ago. And we've been friends ever since. So you invited myself and Glenn Ferguson out to the NAMM show in Los Angeles a few years back. We hop in a cab at the airport in LA to go to the NAMM show, and there's a gentleman that hopped in with us from the same hometown he's from. And I said, well, do you happen to know Gary Borden? He said, yeah, Gary's here. So we met up with Gary in Los Angeles, and me and Glenn and Gary had hung out for a number of days. Then a few months back, I was in Pictou, Nova Scotia, and went to see Sash Jordan, and Gary was there. So we hung out there for a bit, and now we're here back in Bathurst. So
it's strange how things happen. And Gary, since I met you in 2020 at the NAMM show, we've been friends on Facebook, and we talked a lot about the work that we do with the music industry and guitars and stuff, and the new Obsidian product that we have. And so when we started showcasing that guitar that was built for us by Fender at Hospitality Days, you reached out and you said, oh, this is a fantastic guitar. It looks great. Mm-hmm. So I messaged you back. I was saying, well, it's too bad you don't live close by, you could try it. Then you told me you were coming down.
That's right.
So here's the guitar. We were at sound check this morning, and the interesting part about this is that you strap that on, put it on, and kept it on for about an hour and a half, and didn't let it go. And so you did the sound check with it, and you're playing it tonight. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you felt and just to give a little bit of a testimonial from your side of being a musician, because I know nothing about guitars.
Right. Well, just picking it up, it was light and, just it plays really nice. And there's no resistance on the fretboard. And then hearing the backstory, how you made the wood, one big thing is humidity. When you're, where I am, there's a lot of humidity, and, you're always tuning and that, but finding out that it doesn't warp, right? So it's a really nice guitar, and I still probably gonna take it.
I gotta watch that guitar case and make sure I open it up tonight before I leave after the show to make sure you put the right one in there.
That's right. Yeah. Well, another thing too, with we're talking about the feedback from the amp, I was getting some really nice feedback. So I think it's the wood. There's some honkiness to it just sounds great.
Well, for me, it was great to sit there this morning just for sound check and seeing you playing it. And tonight, having you play that up on stage, appreciate it. And thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for you
my honor.
Playing it there and stuff. And as a small token of our appreciation, I know you really want to keep it, but I got to keep it for a little bit longer. But what I'd like to do is give you something. And Brian, if you don't mind, it's a little bit different though. It might not sound the same, but you can pretend you're playing it, but it's actually pretty much the same. but it's a cutting board that's made with thermally modified wood. So if we'd like to give you that in appreciation for you taking care of us and playing that guitar for us
Thank you very
tonight.
much. And I'm a huge fan of, my wife and I were always, doing the wine and cheese. So this will get used. So once this is done, I'll have to get another one.
Maybe one with strings.
That's right. That's what I'm getting at.
Well, again, Gary, thank you very much for coming to Northern New Brunswick and for this little tour. And we're going to continue on our tour of Bathurst here and get you back in time for the show tonight and make sure that Sass is happy that I brought you back and that I didn't kidnap you.
Right.
Brian and I together is dangerous what we could do, right? Kidnap him and take him
You're
around.
in good hands.
You're in good hands.
I know. You guys are great, and I appreciate the tour of your facility. Like, it's incredible what you're doing here, and cutting edge. Hearing the orders you're getting from all over the world. It's incredible.
Well, thank you very much. So there we are, another edition of Northern Heat for this week. The place to come to listen to the stories that haven't been discovered yet.